So it's that time of the semester when we're coming upon the withdraw deadline. And what is the withdraw deadline? The first time I heard about the withdraw deadline was when I was in a class during my first semester in college. And I was a first generation college student. So I didn't know a lot about institutions and how all of this stuff worked. But a student next to me kind of commented, "Hey, you're not doing really great in the class, and you might want to consider the withdraw deadline." And I thought, what? What is the withdrawal deadline? And they were like, oh, that's when you can just be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to finish the course. I'm just going to, stop. And I'm like, what? So you could just stop taking the class like mid semester and be like, no, I'm done. And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. And so I thought they were teasing me. I thought, this can't be right. But no, that really is the case. So if you aren't doing well in the course, and I'm really sorry if you're dealing with that right now, hopefully it's not my class, but if you aren't doing well in a course, this is your opportunity to say, well, maybe I need to think about what's going to be in my best interest for the rest of the semester. And if you do withdraw from a course, you legit just stop taking the course, and then you don't have to worry about how it affects your GPA. Now, there are some other things that you have to consider, though. You can't just be like, I'm done with the course. Number one, you have to officially withdraw. And faculty members at UCF do not officially withdraw you from a course. You have to do that yourself. That's student initiated. And there's a process for that. And so you want to make sure that you do the complete process before you just stop taking the class, right? But also with withdraw, it doesn't hurt your GPA. So you get a W and it shows on your transcript that you stopped taking that course, but it doesn't hurt your GPA overall. And when people look at that, it's really not a big deal if you withdrew from a course. Now, there are some issues with withdrawing for a course. Now, number one, people always ask, well, what about the money I paid? Because, these classes cost a lot of money. Unfortunately, you don't get your money back. You forfeit your funds for the course if you withdraw. So there's that issue. Another issue with withdrawing from the course is that if you only had the minimum number of credit hours to be full-time, and then you withdraw from a course, you are now not at full-time anymore. So that may be something you need to consider for scholarships or for other things, healthcare, those types of issues. So you need to ask those questions before you withdraw to make sure that you fully understand what it means when you withdraw from this course. So I always tell people, make sure that you're taking, more credit hours than full-time, so you can withdraw from a class mid-semester if you need to, right? So that could hurt you in some other ways. But overall, you want to think about, what's going to be in your best interest. You want to get all of the information about the withdrawal deadline before you actually withdraw. So talk to an advisor in your area and your major to make sure that you're making the right choice for you. But it is a way that if, you aren't too worried about the money and you aren't too worried about, those other issues that I mentioned, that it won't hurt your GPA. And that's a good thing. Now, if you continue in a course and you do fail a course, you're going to have to apply for grade forgiveness and retake that course in the future. And if you have to retake that course more than once, it does cost more money. But withdraw, it doesn't affect you in that way. So with withdraw, you can retake the course and it'll cost you the same amount of money next time. But if you use grade forgiveness and you're retaking the course over and over and over again, and you're not withdrawing from it, it's going to cost you more than the first course's tuition for that class. So do keep that in mind. You've got to pay attention to that. And you can only use grade forgiveness for a certain number of classes. Each institution is different in that regard. And somebody in my family had to do grade forgiveness for like 3 or 4 courses. And that got really expensive. So withdrawal period, the withdrawal deadline can be a benefit in many ways. You just want to make sure that you have all of the information before you make that decision. Stop by during office hours if you need additional assistance. Always happy to help you. And I want to make sure that we're making this process as transparent as possible, because I know that as a first generation college student myself, that sometimes it was tricky to figure out the process. And I felt like I needed to know the secret handshake so I could succeed. But really, we want you to succeed. We want you to do well. But we also want to make sure that you understand what all of these different policies mean and you have all of the tools available for you so you can make the best decision for you. And hopefully you're having a good semester. You don't have to worry about the withdrawal deadline. But if you do, this is a nice safety net that may be able to help you a lot for your future. Good luck.